Hello everyone, welcome to KMIT Solutions Services. My name is Raman. In this lecture, we will talk about a difference between solution architect and enterprise architect. So both the positions are the senior architecture position in IT, but their scope, their focus, and their level of abstraction is different. So let us first see one line difference between these two. If we talk about the enterprise architect, so he defines a big picture of IT strategy for the entire organization. So whenever we are talking about the enterprise architect, so he is basically the one who is having a very big role. So big role in the sense, for example, the entire project which is having the business strategies, business goals, not specific to a particular technology or specific part of a business, but it is for the entire organization, right? So that is basically the enterprise architect. And solution architect is basically the one who is solving a particular business problem, and he provides the technical solution, specific technical solution. That is the main difference between enterprise architect and solution architect. Let us see some detailed difference between these two. So first is the primary focus. So when we talk about the solution architect, so solution architect is the one who is working on a specific business problem and provide the solution for that. Whereas enterprise architect, it provides entire organization's IT landscape, business segment, and capability, those kind of solutions. Scope, this is having a narrow scope as compared to enterprise architect because it is related to certain application, system, project level. Um, and the enterprise is a long term. So, for example, if you want to migrate a project, right? So there is a project, and that project is migrating from on-prem environment to cloud-based environment, right? So in that case, end-to-end solution is designed by the enterprise architect. So that's why it's a long term, right? Whereas, for example, solution architect is working on cloud-based like AWS or Azure based system and providing the solution that how a particular migration can be done with the help of cloud based provider. So that is basically solution architect uh, role. Whereas enterprise architect is providing entire organization strategy, business goals, and how the data will be uh, how the data will be basically stored into different schemas. Okay, so he is defining the business and data and application and technology. So when it comes to technology, for example, so there is a solution architect who basically helps to solve the business problem related to the technology. So as compared to the enterprise architect, solution architect has short or medium term goal. It is going to deliver a working and efficient solution, whereas enterprise architect, it ensures that IT supports business strategies. Business involvement. So solution architect is mostly working with the product owners, means client project managers, whereas enterprise architect works with the executive, CIO, business leaders, etc. Technology point of view. So this solution architect is more technical, right? So he is the one who provides the solution. Like here, I was giving the example of AWS. So he will be the AWS expert, right? Providing the solution. Whereas the enterprise architect, He knows the technology, but very high level, right? So high level and technology agnostic. Decision level. So it is more implementation or tactical point of view, whereas it is more the strategic and governance point of view. So these are the main difference between solution architect and the enterprise architect. Let's see the responsibilities of solution architect and the enterprise architect. So when we talk about the solution architect, so what kind of responsibility that solution architect is having? So typically, if we talk about the solution architect, so he has to build a solution. Like I was giving the example of cloud-based environment, AWS. So he's typically translate the business requirement into the technical designs. So I'm taking the example of AWS, but it is not related to cloud-based solution architect. There could be application architect, right? So there could be different, solution architect roles. Depends upon what kind of application or what kind of technology they are supporting. So choose the technology, framework, integration pattern, right? So if you are a solution architect, you are basically deciding that whether we need to go with the AWS, in AWS, which services we need to follow, right? So technology, frameworks, and integration pattern. It also defines the system architecture, means like database, cloud, security, right? So those also comes under the solution architect role. It will ensure that whatever the solution they are providing, so performance wise, scalability wise, reliability wise, it should be good, right? So support the development and implementation team. Example, designing cloud-based CRM using microservices, REST API, and Azure AWS, right? So these are the certain example which depicts that what solution architect uh, they do for their day-to-day activities. Now, let us talk about the enterprise architect. So when we talk about the enterprise architect, so um, its main responsibility is to provide the organization level of solution, right? So responsible for all solution fit together. If something wrong happened on the solution architect point of view, right? So solution architect is responsible, but maybe the question will be asked from the enterprise architect first, that why this particular service is not working. So in that case, the enterprise architect has more responsibility, or you can say, and the solution architect is subset of enterprise architect. Okay, so their responsibility is basically to define the standard principles, align the IT strategies and business goals, decide which platform, which technology, which vendors are allowed, reduce the duplication and the technical debt, govern the architecture across the multiple projects. Okay, so deciding the organization to standardize on AWS, SAP, microservices across all the departments. Uh, so strategy is basically defined by enterprise architect, and the solution is implemented by the solution architects. Now, how they work together, how solution architect and enterprise architect they work together. Enterprise architect sets the rules and directions, whereas solution architect defines the solution within those rules. So, for example, there is a migration from on-premises environment to cloud-based environment, then enterprise architect is going to design that, whereas solution architect is working on that design to make technically possible that migration. Okay, so you can say that, as I mentioned, solution architect is subset of enterprise architect. So enterprise architect, city partner, solution architect is the building architect, right? So if we compare the skills, so as I mentioned, solution architect is more technical. So they are basically They are defining the system design, cloud and application architecture, API, database integration, strong hands-on technical expertise, whereas enterprise architect skills are business strategy alignment, IT governance and standards. So if who are the stakeholders and how they are basically approve, how to take the approval, what is the governing body, what is the communication plan, what are the artifacts. So all these comes under the enterprise architect skills. Portfolio and capability modeling, strong stakeholder and leadership skills. Now, whether you are a solution architect or an enterprise architect, which role you want to choose, that totally depends upon you. If you want to go more technical and problem solving, then it is solution architect who is basically doing this kind of activity, and the enterprise architect who is basically defining the strategy, governance, long term planning. So this is the brief comparison between solution architect and the enterprise architect. And if you have any question, right, you can write it on the comment. And and I hope you understand this difference. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Raman, and this is KMIT Solutions Services.